Look, I didn't corrupt Ron. He knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, he came to my house, don't forget, perfectly well aware that we would almost certainly end up in bed together. I didn't come as any great surprise to him. He's had other homosexual experiences. It's ludicrous talking about criminal offences. And everything happened here. In private. In my own house. In private. If I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have known anything about it.
Well, you did tell me.
Well, can't you forget about it? Can't you?
How old is this man, Miller?
He's 19, 20.
And how old are you, sir?
Obviously, I shouldn't have told you. I mean, I'm all way saying things I shouldn't say, but surely there's no need to make a fuss about this. Surely you can forget what I told you. Can't you? Look, I'm not asking much. Please? Well, what is the position if I make a statement? Shall I?
That's up to you, sir.
Anyway, all right, I'll make a statement. You want me down the police station? I better get dressed.
Pat tells me you've managed to decode some of the German U-boat messages.
Yes, for a time we thought we'd done it, but now it seems the Germans have improved the Enigma machine, so we're going to have to find a new way in. Oh, we'll do it, Knox, but we need faster machinery.
Well, at least the government is properly aware of how important your work is. The geese who lay the golden eggs, isn't that what Churchill said?
Oh, you meant all of us.
You in particular.
This is very flattering, Knox. You're making me feel uneasy.
And why's that?
Well, I sense a sting in the tail approaching.
Well, not a sting exactly. I gather you've been chaining your tea mug to the radiator.
That's not an unreasonable precaution. Tea mugs are in very short supply.
Some people find it irritating.
Well, I find it irritating that some people should be irritated.
I do think you might be a little more discreet.
What, about my tea mug?
About this young engineer chap you've got working with you. Tongues are beginning to wag.
Am I in for a lesson in morals?
In common sense. I mean, I don't give a twopenny damn whether you choose to go to bed with choir boys or cocker spaniels, but it would be wiser to keep your private life to yourself.
Is this an official reprimand?
Friendly advice, nothing more. I mean, first things first. What we're doing here, and most especially what you're doing here, has a direct and crucial bearing on the progress of the war. Well, a pretty young engineer comes a rather poor second to that, surely.
I thought you said rules only mattered in cricket.
Oh, it's such nonsense, this contemporary obsession with sexual fulfillment. Passion is dreadfully overrated, if you ask me. One is happiest when sex is a dimly remembered pleasure, like climbing apple trees or building sandcastles.
Well, you can hardly expect me to agree with that.
Well, like all of us, I can only speak from personal experience. I've been happily married for over 20 years, and I'm glad to say that passion has never played a significant role in our relationship. Understanding and companionship can be relied upon. Passion is forever fleeting.
Well, perhaps one brief moment of passion is worth more than 20 years of uneventful companionship.
Oh, I didn't say it was uneventful. Anyway, we're not talking about me, we're talking about you.
Yes. I hear you're not very well.
What's that got to do with it?
Nothing. I'm changing the subject.
A great many people, administrators and the military alike, regard Bletchley as a hotbed of anarchy and unruliness. They pray for an excuse to bring us to heel.
Well, they're small-minded, petty, spiteful.
Maybe.
What is the point of having a system that gives authority to people who don't deserve it? You say I complained. Good God, of course I complained. Nothing was being done. You know that as well as I do. Nobody understood the scale of the problem. I mean, it wasn't just a question of more staff, more money. We needed new ideas, electronics, an industry. Absolutely bugger all was being done about it. If I hadn't written to Mr. Churchill, if I had gone through the usual so-called proper channels, we'd all be stuck here twiddling our thumbs, getting nowhere fast. Do these people know how Churchill replied to my letter? Do they? Make sure they have all they want on extreme priority.
I know.
That is what he wrote.
I know.
Action this day.
I know. And I'm not saying you did the wrong thing. I'm only trying to explain why such unorthodox methods are bound to cause a considerable upset.
All that matters is the work we do. Differences of attitude, differences of personality should not enter into it.
They shouldn't, but they do.
Well, then they should be ignored.
You can't go through life ignoring the effect you have on other people or the effect other people have on you.
Well, you can try.
All right. Let me give you an example. A few minutes ago, you inquired after my health. Supposing I'd said that I'm mortally ill and that I've only a year or so